Hello, buddy, and welcome to a update on the tropics here. You can see a relatively active Atlantic here, not in terms of tropical storms per se, but in terms of tropical waves and activity here as we near. We're about a week off from the peak of the Atlantic hurricane season here, the climatological peak, I should say, of the Atlantic hurricane season, and that's just going off of past hurricane seasons and figuring out when activity usually peaks in the basin. And they deducted that September 10th was usually around the peak date for tropical Atlantic activity here, tropical cyclone wise there. As you can see on your screen, we have the remnants of what it used to be Hurricane Nana moving into the East Pacific here. It has a low chance of formation as it heads over into the East Pacific here. It has a 10% chance of formation throughout the next 48 hours, and it has a low 20% chance of formation throughout the next 5 days into at least a tropical depression strength storm or higher as it moves into the East Pacific soon here, if it isn't already. We also have tropical depression Omar, which is forecast to dissipate soon here. Still trying to fight off that 40-knot wind shear on it over it right now. We got an area of interest just to the northeast of Omar that has a small window of time to develop into something here before it again starts to get sheared as much as Omar is right now. We also have Invest 91L right here. Then behind it to the east, we have three tropical waves here. Two of them that are in the Atlantic right now, and one of them that's just about to come off Africa here. I'll talk about that right now. You can see let's start off with disturbance number 4. Has a near 0% chance of formation throughout the next 48 hours, and to the next 5 days, a medium 40% chance of formation. Disturbance number 3 has a 20% chance of formation throughout the next 48 hours, and formation chance for the next 5 days, a 70% chance. Disturbance number 2, also known as Invest 91L, has a low 20% chance of formation throughout the next 48 hours, and to the next 5 days, a medium 40% chance of formation. And then you can see the area of interest northeast of Omar has a 20% chance of formation throughout the next 48 hours and 5 days respectively. So that's a wide view of the Atlantic here, but what I want to focus on here, at least for now, is Super Typhoon Haishen currently going on in the West Pacific right now. As you can see, a textbook Super Typhoon right now. Officially from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, the storm has 155 mile per hour 1 minute sustained winds, or about 135 knots sustained winds there, which makes it a high-end Category 4 Saffir-Simpson scale storm here, and also the highest it could possibly get, a Category 4 strength storm here, going off of that scale. This also, of course, classifies as a super typhoon, which is a term that has been used for a while in the West Pacific Basin here, which is used when a typhoon reaches 150 mile per hour winds or 130 knot winds or higher, and then it'll be deemed a super typhoon and be called as such there. And this, of course, is a 155 mile per hour, 135 knot super typhoon, as you can see on your screen, a textbook storm here with its eye clearing out over time there. And of course, I must say that I'm not a certified meteorologist or professional meteorologist by any means here, just a hobby of mine. But you could see in the last few frames there, near the end of that loop there, how maybe trying to push out some more deeper convection right around a central dense overcast, the CDO of the storm here. So it'll be interesting to see if it starts to intensify a little bit more than forecast here. Definitely interesting to see if that holds out, or if this is just a short thing for a short term and it's going to start to wane again in terms of the cloud top wise. So that's Super Typhoon Haishen here. This is a visible look at the typhoon here off of Himawari 8, and this is courtesy off of Cyclonic Wix, which is a site that is made by Alex Borham, a really great guy. And you can see just how this super typhoon, has been clearing out its eye more and more with time here, becoming a classic, like I said, classic example of a super typhoon here in the West Pacific Basin here. The first one, I should also add, of the basin this year so far, since this basin has been relatively quiet here until about now in terms of its activity here. So that's, again, Super Typhoon Haishen. I want to lastly show you the forecast cone from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center here, the JTWC. And you can see as of this latest update, they have it at 135 knots, which, like I said, is 155 miles per hour, and they forecast it to intensify within 24 hours here into a 140 knot storm, which is about 160 miles per hour, which would make it, if the forecast comes true, would make it a Category 5 super typhoon, or Category 5 on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane scale. Throughout the next 48 hours here, and then eventually after that, it gradually weakens back down to a 150 knot storm. 150 knot, 150 mile per hour storm, 130 knot storm before it impacts some of the Japanese islands here. As you can see on your screen, perhaps getting the full force this typhoon has to offer here, unfortunately. Not too long after Maysak passed by this general region here, especially in South Korea here. As you can see later on down the line, they have it either hitting South Korea as a weakening 100 knot typhoon there, which is about 115 miles per hour if my memory serves me right, which is about category 3, low end category 3 force intensity here. Again, over the same general region that Typhoon Maysak hit South Korea not too long ago, less than a week ago actually. So they're going to be in for another rough day here as the storm goes over there. Sometime the Joint Typhoon Warning Center thinks sometime on September 7th there at around 0 UTC there with time. So another storm to watch there for you guys in the Koreas and in the Japanese islands there. Another storm, another super typhoon to watch closely here with time. This is the Japan Meteorological Agency latest cone for the storm. There's all the information for it, as you can see on your screen. They're the official agency for the basin, but however, they only go off of 10-minute sustained winds here, not 1-minute sustained winds like the Joint Typhoon Warning Center go off of. They kind of help out in that respect there, but the official agency for this basin is the Japan Meteorological Agency, and you can see this is the latest forecast cone for Super Typhoon High Strand here, and you can see a bigger picture of that, a wider look of that right there on your screen. So that's high strand right now. Let's take a look at what used to be Hurricane Nana in Atlantic here, now a remnant storm now. Forecast to, again, go into the East Pacific Basin here and perhaps have a low chance of reformation here as it goes into their over the open waters again shortly here. And again, made landfall as a 175 mile per hour Category 1 hurricane over Belize here overnight. So that adds on to the hurricane tally, the fifth hurricane of the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season thus far here as we head into the peak of this hurricane season. We also still got Tropical Depression Omar still hanging around, still doing with about 40 knots of wind shear, which is about, I believe, 50 miles per hour of wind shear there. So it's been struggling here, but you can see it's been trying to fight off that wind shear to its best effort. I'll give it that. But as you can see, every new burst of convection it fires off of gets sheared away from it, away from the center of circulation there. So Omar is likely not to last any longer here. In fact, the National Hurricane Center forecast Omar to dissipate really shortly here. As you can see in the latest forecast I'm not going to read all that information there because fortunately it poses no threat to land whatsoever at this point. I'll just go over to discussion here, and you can see in about 12 hours they forecast to become post-tropical or remnant low system, and in about 60 hours from now they forecast it to dissipate here totally here with time as this wind shear keeps on going over this storm. So that's Omar. Let's go and quickly look at the remnants of Nana here. Again, there's actually the key messages there for what was Nana there. If you want to read that, if you want to, and in Spanish there as well if you want to read that as well. This is a not updated graphic here because the storm has in fact dissipated here. So this is the latest and last forecast cone. Unless Nana decides to really develop in the East Pacific here, last forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center of what used to be Category 1 Hurricane Nana here. So that's the latest for that storm. Remember to always get official information, at least for the Atlantic side of things. For localized forecasts, always use the National Weather Service here. Just type up NWS here, type up the link on the top of your screen. I'll of course have all the links that you need to use below in the description here, so you can check this stuff out. Remember, if you live in South Florida, click there for South Florida. It'll take you straight to your local forecast office, and it'll give you all this crucial life-saving information here, or just information to plan out your day in advance here with time here. if we get major events going on for that area. Hopefully not this year, but of course we'll see. And if you live in Miami, you can click on that map there that I just clicked on. But say you don't live in Miami, and say you live in maybe um, one of these areas to the north of it, like maybe Pompano Beach, you can click there, and it'll give you the latest 5-day graphical forecast, and then 7-day text detailed forecast below that. And if you want to plan out your day in advance, hour by hour, they also have an hourly forecast available to you that regularly updates with time here. So that's for the National Weather Service and the National Hurricane Center, of course. Just type up nhc.noaa.gov or just type up NHC, and it'll probably be the first search result. And of course, you'll know you're on the correct page when you see all this good, crucial, life-saving information here at your fingertips. Then here's a joint typhoon, not a joint typhoon. There's a joint typhoon warning center. Just type up JTWC, and it'll probably be the first search result on whatever search browser search engine. Just type up JTWC. What I do is I type up JTWC typhoon, and it's the first result. I click on it, and it gives me all that good information. And then JMA, just type up the Japan Meteorological Agency, or just type up the JMA typhoon, like I usually do, and it should be the first search result on whatever search browser search engine you use. You don't get all this life-saving crucial information here if we're in the path of this typhoon here. So I believe that's about it for me. Hope everybody has a great day and a good life. Stay safe, of course. And while we're in this kind of a little bit of a lull here, make sure you review your hurricane plan already and have a plan of action if you haven't gone through that already. We've already had some significant storms here so far this season in the Atlantic Basin. We've had Hannah, we've had Hannah, we've had Isaias, and we've had, of course, most recent big one here, Laura. So be careful this season. Make sure again you have all your hurricane preparedness stuff ready and set to go in case you get threatened by a tropical system here. This season here, it's forecast to be a busy season and has been a busy season so far here. And again, this is about it for me. So hope everybody has a great day and night wherever you guys are. Stay safe, of course. Until then, see you guys on the next video. Peace.